back once again, and tonight is day 2 of my series for the month of August, which I call My Herus Don't Appear on No Stamp. Peace and love to everybody, Hotep, Islam, Assalamu Alaikum, salutations, Shalom to all the brothers and sisters, peace to the melanated family. And when I say throughout this month that my Herus, H-E-R-U, which where the word hero come from, don't appear in no stamp. Excuse me one second. God dang it, I can't. Y'all need to shut the hell up. Sorry about that. And I set off day 2, and that's been on my mind all day. Gentleman that you see here is one that they never taught you about never taught us about in school, never taught us about it in history books, not even in so-called Black History Month. Okay, the man name is Timothy Drew, otherwise known as he was born Timothy Drew, but he's known as Noble Drew Ali. Now, to all my Moorish brothers and sisters, y'all know who this man is. The man here who was born January 8th, 1886 in North Carolina. Born there in North Carolina. Mother was being of Cherokee descent. Noble Drew Ali was the one who did the one thing that nobody else hasn't done. Now, me myself being Moorish American, being of Cherokee descent, we can easily get out here and tell you that, since I had reclaimed my birthright 11 years ago, that during the time in the 1920s, after the racist president Woodrow Wilson hold on one second, folks. Okay, sorry about that. I hate to be interrupted when I'm doing my series and stuff. The goddamn Fedbook notifications. He went before Woodrow Wilson and he reclaimed our birthrights. He sat there and challenged the then president of that time that when it came down to our nationality, and he said, and I quote, that you call this group of people that, you call this group of that, why when it comes to my people it's not like that. And you know what the white supremacists Woodrow Wilson told him? Said that you didn't know who you were, so it was in the best interest of the country to keep you from knowing who you were. Instead of giving us the titles and brands Negro and colored, which doesn't identify race or nationality, Negro, colored, or black. Now I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So he sat there and challenged them and all that. When Wilson couldn't mess with him on that tip, Noble Drew Ali, they went into a vault, and underneath a lot of the stuff and a lot of other flags, he found the real flag, the real American flag, the Moorish flag, which is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star. That's the Moorish flag that symbolizes our sovereignty. Because any person of melanated origin, if any black person born here, if you're born here in the so-called United States, that means you're a sovereign national. Because I also stated several times that not all of us came over here on slave ships, as they tell us in the history books. That we was always indigenous here in the Americas, North, South, and Central America before the continent spread apart like it is now. Remember, it was one big major continent. We are the first and we are the original people. And Noble Drew Ali had brought that back to us. You know, I know I just skipped over from him being born in North Carolina, the current right there, but you ain't got to believe me. There's several books out there you can go ahead and research them and read up for yourself. One of which I recommend, Noble Drew Ali, The Ex-Human of a Nation. You know, Noble Drew Ali also instructed, you know, because like we're not, he has told them like this, that we're not Negroes, we're not colored, we're not black, we're Moorish Americans. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like that. In other words, he basically saying you are us as black people, we are what our forefathers were before, and we got to act that way accordingly. And on top of that, if I'm lying about this, then why this man was the most mentioned man for the past 15 years? Rappers like, let me just hit y'all up on a little something. How much influence that Noble Drew Ali had. That's Jay Electronica. Anybody in the hip-hop world knows who he is. And he's rocking the same headdress that I have, which is a fez. Not a hat, not a cap, it's a headdress. It's called the fez. All the tassels that you see now, I showed y'all mine in the live stream a while back, a week ago. You know, 360 tassels, 360 degrees. I'm going to show you just another thing when it comes to this too. You got some of Moorish brothers right there, Moorish American Muslims right there. Remember, that's that flag I told y'all about. Same one Prophet Drew Ali got from out of Woodrow Wilson's safe in the White House in Washington, D.C. You know, because you got to understand something, man. You know, the Europeans, because see, it was the Moors, we the ones who basically ushered in the Renaissance age in Spain and in Italy. You know, another book you can get on top of that, if you don't believe me, is one of my favorites, my main favorite, Othello's Children in the New World by Jose V. Jackson-Bey. You know, that tells you everything. Chapter 5, Black, Nomenclature, Nationality, what's in the name. You know, and it's being shown every day, because like even right now we living in the age of Aquarius, that you even, you know, and he also said that Noble Drew Ali also said too that he's gonna make the European tell the truth. Well, let's put it to an example. Back in February, during so-called Black History Month, remember when President Tangerine was sitting with Omarosa, Ben Carson, Lloyd Banks, Brian Pumper wannabe, Daryl Scott. See, Taurine, you got me going with this. And you know how he changed it from Black History Month to National African American History Month. Now I know that's not much, but read between the lines through that Tangerine, believe it or not, was giving you a window. And even before that, when Obama was sitting there, a lot of people didn't know Obama did this. Obama erased the term Negro out of existence, along with Oriental, because he said it was too offensive. Okay, you gotta look at the bigger picture. You know, because Obama knows about. Keep in mind, before he became president, Obama knew about the Constitution, and he knew about constitutional law. And see, the Constitution is like pre-secure rights. They're only gonna be rights for you if you in your proper status. But if you're Negro, colored, black, or quote-unquote African-American, now I know you use these terms as formal communication, but in a court of constitutional law, when you got that European, got that cracker going in there, he ain't gonna say he or she ain't gonna say they white. They gonna say they either Slavic, they either Danish or Dutch, German, French, Italian, British, Irish, that sort of Polish, that sort of stuff. I mean, when it comes down to nationality, and that's what Noble Drew Ali was trying to say. Like, even a dog has a nationality. You know, Russian Wolfhound, Irish Wolfhound, German Shepherd, English Bulldog, American Pit Bull Terrier, Belgian Malinois, which is look like a German Shepherd, you know, English Foxhound, Afghan Hound, you know, even some of the wild animals, Siberian Tiger, African Lion, African Elephant. You know, I'm saying like that. This is one of these guys, one of the leaders, one of these people here that a lot of us need to know about. I know some of us know about it, you know, because that's why my brothers Red and Blue Pill, they know about it all the time. And let me bring something a little bit more concurrent. When the Moors came over into Spain and Italy to usher in the Renaissance age, remember, those Neanderthals, they were living like barbarians. They didn't know they were living just like what they act like now. It was us, the ones that went in there and showed them, like, man, you gotta season your food, studying the stars, mathematics, taught them hygiene, teaching them learn how to wash their ass, that sort of thing. Moors came in there, all of like the cathedral, the Vatican, what you see there, the Moors, we did that. We did that. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know nothing about that, and people need to start reading up on this man, on this brother here. You know. Now, there's some people on social media that talk about the Moors, say the Moors ain't this, more than that. I done heard it back in 2007 from Sarah Suit Seti and some of these other clowns in the Coonches community and stuff, which has been heavily infiltrated and stuff. There's only a few of the cats over there that I mess with. The Pills are one of them. Okay? You know. And to be honest, I'm going to show you how much of an influence. Now, to my people like in Chicago, because the people, the brother, I don't want to mention him because like he's on my list for the month for this series though. But you hear about that. All I got to say, look up this name, Blackstone Rangers. I don't need to say no more. I don't need to say no more. Because, you know, Noble Drew Ali also established the Moorish Science Temple of America. At first it was in Newark, New Jersey. You know, he started it off right there. And then it moved on. He relocated in Chicago. And it's ironic because that's where the Nation of Islam headquarters is at. And on top of that, and that's where it's been like that, like ever since. Because see, like as more like he says, our job is to go ahead and uplift fallen humanity. Fallen humanity comes through the African woman, through the black woman, straight up. Not through no white woman, not through none of them. The black woman, because she is humanity. You know. Now, first thing people somebody gonna say in the comment section, oh, that's a religious cult and all this stuff. No, it's not. He brilliantly put that as a religious cult to keep prying eyes out of that or whatever. Because he got to be noble. He got to be that way because, like his trip to Egypt, he got to be there for that though. But I ain't gonna tell you the whole story on this, but I'm just telling you briefly like this and stuff. I'm gonna leave links in the description to the books and the literature, because I know some people, y'all not gonna believe me or whatever. You gotta research it yourself, because he always said, as he says in the Circle 7 Quran, which not the Quran with the Q, Quran, and break it down, it's an acronym, break it down into knowledge, order, knowledge, yeah, it's something like that, but I'll break it down for you in the description box for you like that in the Circle 7 Quran. But he basically saying, when you going on this path like that, you got to study yourself, and then when you study yourself some more, because he didn't wrote the book, he prepared it. Let me make it clear. He prepared the Circle 7. That means he took some information from here, he took some information from there, he took some information from this source and put it together, and you got the Circle 7. One of those sources happened to be the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ by Levi H. Dowling. You know, it's one of the reasons why I keep my library on there, because see, if I'm lying about this with this man, shoot, one of my heroes, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, he even mentioned Noble Drew Ali in one of his videos, and he says that he's a Moor. If you don't believe me, shoot, it's the YouTube video is still up on there. I'll put the link in there for that one as well. But this is definitely one of the great men that they never told you about in Black History Month. They don't want to tell nobody about. Some of these so-called scholars like Skippy, Henry Gates, and all them other fools and all that. They don't tell you about this. They still want to keep you subjugated as being, call yourselves Black and African American, which basically is not a race or nationality. Neither is white, neither is Hispanic. You know, because see, in this movement, man, like, you know, Moors knew the law. They knew the constitutional law. And, you know, like I said, you know, a lot of people getting confused and all this stuff and knowing who we are, whatever, you know. And I say this like this, I'm gonna make this clear. It doesn't matter if you're Moors, if you're affiliated with Nation of Islam, 5%ers, you with the Rastafarian movement, RBG movement, the Garveyites, you know, UNIA, or whatever like that, Hebrew Israelites, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Kemet, we're all that. All family. You know what I'm saying? And every one of those groups has something to contribute with each other. But see, when it comes down to nationality, as he says, Noble Drew Ali say, nationality is the order of the day. To be a nation, you must have a nationality. Because see, like, you know, Negro and colored. Negro is something that's fictitious. It's not real. Colored is something that's dyed, that's painted, that's varnished. Like your car. That's painted. That's colored. Black is not even a nationality. Black, according to science, means death. And you look around, you walk around your neighborhood, for instance, like you go out after it finished raining and you see puddles of water in the street. So dark, so murky, so dirt. Nothing could survive in there. You feel me? Nothing but mosquito larvae. Because you know why? Because no fish, nothing could survive in there. Because the fact of the matter, because it's murky, it's dark, it's black. Meaning everything in it is dead. And that's how when you look at the state of condition of a lot of our people, they're dead. Like these buck dancing, good for nothing, buttermilk biscuit receiving Sambos like Ray Lewis and Herm Edwards and the rest of them. They're dead. on the inside. But they're trying so hard to be accepted by the so-called dominant society, which no matter how hard you try or whatever like that, they're never even going to accept you. Noble Drew Ali wanted you to have, wanted us to have self-respect. And he said this like 100 years ago. And what he said 100 years ago still rings true to this day. The Europeans' world is crumbling. And see, we know how to get out here and run a government. They don't. This administration's already showing you they don't know what the hell they doing. Look at the chaos that's going on up there. / comedy show. And he also said, Noble Drew Ali had also said, I'm going to wait until, when I learn to run the government, wait till the European run the government, and I'm going to run it like the way it's supposed to run it. He said it not in that context, but he said something similar to that. But like I said, you can go ahead and look it up. But he definitely was on my mind and definitely make the list of day 2 of my Herus don't appear on no stamp. So join me tomorrow for day 3 as I continue to go ahead with this series, and I will be putting up somebody else that's remotely close to this to make y'all further out. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section if y'all want to know more about it, about the Moors and about the great contributions we brought to this world and to this country. Let me just show you something else. One more thing, if I can get it. Damn. This was found right here in the Americas. They can't get rid of this. Olmec heads that were found like in Mexico, which symbolizes us. No European looks like that. Okay? Nose, just like that. That shows you that we were truly indigenous here. Like I said, tell people, don't buy that concept buying out we were bought over here as slaves. Stop that shit. Stop it. Not all of us came over here on slave ships. Just like, I don't even like using the term pro-black or white supremacy, because after all, like Town Biz was saying, when it comes down to pro-black, they the ones came up with their word. The European came up with their word, and then they want to turn, just like they came with the term gangster rap. And then next thing you know, we taking the shit and we running with it. I'm guilty of that too. But then as time I got older and I came across and got in contact with more information and knowledge and started doing more research, we kind of say like, dude, they put this shit in here by design. So, it's my job to get out there and break that bitch down and debunk it, as well as every other my brothers and stuff that be on social media or be out here in the real world or whatever. Like myself, one LVZ, Sister Diva Lopez, Brother Poppy Bay, and Brother Goodman Ill. And besides, when it comes to the Moors, when it comes to us, the Moorish Americans, there are 5 tribes of them. Ill and Bay are common. You got Ill and Bay. Bay meaning Lord of the land, Ill meaning spiritual guide. Then you got Day, Al, and mine's Ali, meaning supreme. Much like Muhammad Ali. Yeah, Muhammad Ali wearing the fez too. So did Louis Farrakhan. But like I said, I'll be doing more of that later on in this series. But I just want y'all to peep game on this, man. Yeah, this shit started to get real because we living in the age of Aquarius, so this is going to be the age of justice. But like I said, this is something there. Let me know what y'all think about in the comment section. Y'all need to know more about it. Y'all know how to hit me up or whatever like that on Black Spot or Black Junction. And I'll be back with my next episode of the series, My Herus Don't Appear on the Stamp.